Okay, today is March the 15th in 2018. Presidential election, how to protect Russia's economy from German Nazis. This is part of my SOS March this year, 2018. Not recommended for people with real physical heart problems. Reduce political stalker power by giving solutions. Russian reporters called SOS at press conference in December 2016, because I did it at that year, and in the last year 2017 I asked for SOS March. Only for a short time, help Russian people. I asked TIs, targeted individuals on Facebook, for a short time, help Russian people with solutions from your country. You can find Russian problems in Putin's direct line. And do not ask who causes the problem. Try to help solving it. This is now the English translation of the Russian video, and this is difficult to explain. I tell the Russian in the English video is more, my Russian is very bad. Why do I tell you not recommended for people with real health problems, with real physical heart problems? If you are a TI, you get punished. And there are several ways of punishing you. Some come from Russia, some come from somewhere else. There are different heart problems you can get. The first one is, I tell you the most common ones I had. One is pressure here. This was in connection with the battle between Mrs. Angela Merkel and Putin. It was the time around her last visit, 2017, in Sochi. Then one very common for me was heart rhythm shocks. They are from predators, and maybe Germany, Merkel, some people in the US. It was very common for me in the beginning to have these heart rhythm shocks. Some relatives of me, some colleagues are able to cause it when they want to show their power. What I got in combination with this video was a strong heartbeat. So you start hearing and feeling your heartbeat. It was in the past, it was in connection with a scientific people, asking them, asking behind what they tell people. Then a very horrible feeling is a pain like a cut here. It is a light, sharp feeling. Maybe it is Polish, I think so. Then you can get problems like a taser. I was told my grandma Anna was killed by that. It is Putin's horse murders punishment. I had a little bit of it in combination with this video. Then you can get bubbles on the left here. Very strange feeling. Maybe some German companies in cities around here. Then there is a pain like a little screw here. If you breathe in or if you start laughing. And it was in combination with religious, maybe Muslim religious people. They didn't do it often. I think it was just to show me that it can happen. Sorry. Okay. Then there are other problems you can get, feeling like apoplexy. It is German TV stations causing it. Then you can get dizziness. Dizziness, it is religious Christian people causing it. And hunger strike, I am quite sure that Iranian people, it never happened to me, but hunger strike is something Iranian military people can cause. Okay, now I start with the official video, and there is a text on my website. I post the link in the description of my video. German, English, Russian translation. I will just make the English and the Russian video. I am a favorite. I would prefer. I think all people should know a basic English. Brilliant English is difficult, and I cannot speak brilliant English, but you can come on a basic level in English very, very easy. Everybody, like all the world, like American, US actors, films, it is very easy to come on a basic level. They speak different, they speak in US English, I speak more German or UK English. Okay, now, my name is Ruth Heinzelmann. I live in Germany in a city called Braunschweig. I speak Russian very badly, and I did all Russian with translation tool, and some of it English also with translation tool. Unfortunately, I have enemies that weaken people everywhere in the world. You cannot work well anymore, you cannot think well. Many people make sabotage because then they have advantages. For example, a good job for their children. Sabotage and fraud are much more common problems than corruption, as detectable corruption is punished. These enemies, information sabotage is not punished. These enemies do not like people who like to learn, know a lot, recognize fraud, heal, have technical skills and are diligent. Criticism and contradiction will be punished. Nevertheless, the enemies ask you to correct things. Many say that my enemies are German Nazis. I think that they are not only German, but international and religious extremists. My protectors, whom I do not know, are also international. Although I am German, I have enemies in Russia. Important protectors of mine come from there as well. I have protectors in the US and in Germany, and enemies too. Today's Nazis have a different strategy than they used to do. They want to be an elite in every country. Those who do not belong to them are tormented, isolated from foreign information, and there are a lot of other things too, fake diseases, fake partnerships. They put dirt, garbage everywhere, sabotage, destruction of things everywhere, lies or half information or no information, they hide something from you. This damages the economy, and I'm sure I have protectors from economy all of the world. You cannot find good solutions if you are in an environment like that. You need a lot of good people with different knowledge who work together to solve problems and to earn money. Okay, now I show you 5 examples of solution to Russian problems, and I was very shocked. I heard this about their problems. I heard them at Putin's direct line. I heard them in TV stories, and the last one about the election I heard on Pro7 yesterday. So I made an amendment to this. Okay, I've had some heart problems. I explained to you which writing this help text, and I've been threatened with harming my kids. Internationally, this has happened only when I'm in contact with Putin's Russia. The voices said that Putin wants me to take German dentists to court instead, not helping Russia, taking German dentists to court. So imagine, I'm sure that some of the dentists I met have Russian protection. So I don't know why the hell we are asked to put them in court. Okay. Putin's direct line last year talked about mother capital. This is a one-time payment when you get a child. I figured out that if you buy good shoes in Moscow, you will need half of the amount until the child is 18 years old to buy shoes. Shoes are very expensive in Moscow. They cost about as much as in Germany. Food just costs half. The minimum wage is thankfully since this year converted about 163 euros, which means $176 a month. If you look now, good shoes for cold weather are about $57 or 46 euros. Shoes you can wear but definitely not help against cold are about $7. So if you buy that mother capital for 18 years, it's okay, but if you buy this, half of that is just for shoes. And this is not the average. I calculated with 35 euros, not with 646. Okay, next one. Tomatoes. There are too few tomatoes in Russia because there is an import quota and Russia is cold. Tomatoes are good against heart problems. The region around Sochi, for example, is warm like the Mediterranean. Sorry. And if you plant small tomatoes that are harvested green and ripen in a frost-free room, sometimes it takes 3 months, you increase the yield. And even if they have been green, after some time, these little ones, they really get red and they taste very, very good if you grow that, if you make them, let them grow red in house. They taste better than if they get red outside, but not too cold. An import quota should make both sides think in order to find new solutions. Russia can improve cultivation methods and Turkey could supply other foods. For example, they have very delicious and well-tolerated runner beans from Turkey, which also need a lot of heat. They really are perfect for meals, these Turkish ones. I have a difficult stomach and a difficult mouth to eat, and they are very, very good to eat. Okay, why do I know about this problem? I was in Moscow and I was asked to buy something. I thought about buying something for a hotel to eat. I thought about tomatoes. They don't had anything end of February. And in May, this guy, this gentleman asked about tomatoes in May while Erdogan was visiting Sochi. He is in the head, or sometimes in the head of my older son. This gesture he made in the end of the YouTube video about this press conference, this gesture he made there in the camera, did my son, my oldest son, the day before exactly the same. Okay, many thanks also to the reporters. Sorry, my requisites, I don't know what it is called. Many thanks also to the reporters in the direct line who were at Lake Baikal. The Russian book that they recommended with help of props is better than the one I used before. It is possible to learn some Russian with that, but just from food and the rooms and adjectives, so not for this one. But thank you. Okay, these reporters, I don't know exactly if it were these reporters, but at Lake Baikal they have problems with fish. In a report it was shown there were no fish, and there are breeding devices for fish in Germany, also in Poland. This is from Poland. This is a picture from Austria. This was shown. Breeding devices like that were shown on Valentine's Day in a German TV station. It was NDR 3. With such a breeding device you can grow many fish at once and then expose in the lake so they can grow. I don't know why this is not done in Russia, and they are arguing about fish. Okay, then last direct line, the direct line. Before that, people in Russia were talking about cold houses. Putin said last year it just a very 5%, 10% with that problem. I do not know. But I saw what they do in Russia, and people arguing about that lived in wood houses. And it is it is possible and very easy to isolate the house against the cold in the winter, especially in wooden houses. And yes, so this is a concept 3,400 years old. Wood and light materials with little air inside, and it must be without a gap. It must be like that. Okay, and if you install an oven with some ceramic storage stones, ceramic storage stones, and if you have a good burning place, this is a Canadian principle. There are holes for fresh air, for good combustion, so the air can come in and go out enough air here, there and there. There are patents in Canada, Sweden, Austria, and these storage stones, ceramic ones, are important, because if I use two thick pieces of wood, this is warm for 2 hours. I have a common heating in my house, but I have this in addition. Okay, then the next one is, in order to avoid electoral fraud. Oh no, I forgot something. Why do I tell you about these things? That are common in Germany. What I saw there was there were not enough products to buy in Russia. There were very few shops. There was no advertisement. I was in two 3-4 central places of Moscow. I was not in the shopping mall, not on the street. I read there is a big shop, Arbat, a big shopping street. I was not there, but I was at different places in Moscow. Just very few opportunities to buy. So only if you produce and sell things you make money. Germany is so rich because we invest a lot in our own infrastructure, in houses, in infrastructure, and produce and sell a lot for it. To avoid inflation, sorry, it's the predators. I don't know. It was not me. It was not me teasing you with this tongue. To avoid inflation, you need many goods that you produce or import yourself that people can buy. If you increase the money people get, you must offer them enough things to buy. Otherwise the prices and the inflation go high. Because the money supply is too high. Okay, then the fifth one. In order to avoid electoral fraud, there is always a voters list in Germany. German TV station yesterday told about problems and webcams to avoid it, but we have a voters list, and I know the US have too. What we have different than the US is our voters get an invitation. The voters list contains every person who is allowed to vote. The city is responsible for this electoral roll, which also keeps the list of and the town is also responsible for the list of inhabitants. And this list of inhabitants is also known by the tax authorities. So each person on this electoral list, on this voters list, gets an invitation to vote, and this invitation you have to present before, when you want to vote, you have to present it before you get the ballot. Thanks also to all the other Direct Line reporters who have shown that they know me. I hope the 4 boys have won a prize for the best graduation party. Sorry, I was the boss of my graduation party for 100 pupils. I hope these 4 boys won the prize, and the woman in the house damaged by the flood has managed to make a renovation plan. She needed money for a person to look at the damages and to make a plan. Okay, I get protection against mind control and gang stalking by writing down my story with real names except celebrities, well-known person. Contact with Russia makes you give up. Very strong resignation, and in an attack, in a mind control attack, the resignation becomes a severe depression. Not anymore for me, but I know that it is possible, and they showed it to me several times, also when I was a child. I got protection from that because in the last weeks. I got protection from that because I applied for a tourist from this resignation, not from the depression. From this resignation, I got protection from that because I applied for a tourist visa for the US. Only for the application I got protection. About the trip I cannot say anything yet. Muslims and Africans have looked angry. But Muslims also look angry when I have contact to Putin, for example about pictures in the internet and about thoughts and maybe voice to skull contact with his team. This text has reversed the protection until I started to plan details for the trip. So I wish you all the best. I have this SOS March. This was mine. I took definitely more. It took me more than 1 or 2 days. I will stop the contact to Russia again because it is very, very, you lose your personality. You lose the wishes you had for your life. You lose your Heimat, your home feeling. I stop it, but it is very, very important for me to help Russian people. I'm so sorry. I really feel sorry for them. I have protectors from there, and I hope everything will be better the next years. Okay, and I get protection if I do things like that. I get attacks, but there are attacks, but in the end I get information, I get help, I get protection, but I have to make videos and I have to write down. This is important, written information in the internet that are accessible and readable. Okay, thank you very much.